So something I've been meaning to address is the whole concept of like I'll be happy when, because I'll be happy when. So like I'll be happy when I move out. I'll be happy when I have this much money. I'll be happy when I find a girlfriend, when I do this, when I do that, when I get my favorite job. I'll be happy when doesn't exist. It's not something that works. And the reason I say this is because the other day I was just sitting in the house, and I was just sitting there, and I was just like, I felt kind of like complacent, like things just weren't happening. I wanted them to. Like I just felt like stagnant and frustrated, and the joy that I've been feeling for the last say couple of years just seemed to kind of disappear a bit, and it took me a while because I was like, oh, okay, well, when these things happen, I'll be happy, or when such and such happens, when this happens, when that happens, when these things happen, I'll be happy. But then I realized that 2 years ago, when I was at my lowest, I was like thousands in debt. I was heartbroken at the time. We were in the middle of a pandemic. I was like malnourished. I was in the worst position of my life I had been in, and every day I would write in my journal, and I'd write down, I'd say things to myself such as, I know that things are really difficult at the moment, but the next 6 months are going to be really difficult. It's going to be an extremely difficult grind, but we're going to get through this. And in X amount of time, say a couple of years, when we keep working on this, like when we keep eating well and we keep exercising and we keep working at our job and we keep progressing at all of these things, eventually I'm going to be in a really magnificent position. And I used to write and write and write about having like a nice house like I do now, that's full of guitars and plants and instruments and fairy lights and candles and crystals and artwork, and having my dog, and having sound systems and entertainment systems everywhere, and having a fire out the back, and trees and motorbikes and cars, and the list goes on and on and on. And this is something that I wanted to achieve so badly that I'd envision it and I'd meditate on this all the time. And within a year and a half to 2 years, not even, I had manifested everything. I have received absolutely everything that I wanted at that time. And at that time, my mindset was, okay, well, we'll be we'll be stoked and we'll be happy when we reach this place. And it just felt so strange to me, and almost like disrespectful, that I'll be sitting there in my home and surrounded by all these magnificent things that I've always wanted to have, and be bored or complaining or wondering what's wrong because I've got everything that I wanted. But through this understanding and thinking about this and meditating on this, I was quickly to come to realize that it's not the material possessions that I have and everything I'm surrounded with. It was the growth, and it was the development, and it was the process of achieving like my small goals step by step by step in getting to this place. And so from what I've understood it to be is that I've hit the end of what I like to call a manifestation cycle, where everything that I was trying to manifest has manifested, and now I felt like I was left in a position where I didn't really know what to do, which I've rectified now. I've gone and figured things out, and I'm kind of back to the next phase. But the point I'm trying to say here is that the thing that brings us joy and fulfillment is the feeling of development, the feeling like we're achieving things, and that we're achieving our goals and we're doing things. And that's why it's so important for us to implement these these routines. And that's why I always talk about like joining the gym or taking up martial arts is like super important, because day after day you're putting in the work and you're seeing these results, and it's a physical reminder of putting in the time, and the effort is going to give you the results for what you want. And that applies to absolutely everything. If you're trying to learn an instrument, If you keep learning the piano, you're going to develop muscle memory in order to play harder songs. And you're going to see that development grow over time, and it works with absolutely everything. It's a it's a geometrical pattern that applies to absolutely everything in life. And so that's why it's important. And like, you're not going to find happiness in material things. You're not going to find happiness in money. Like, money is great to have, and there's a lot of fulfillment to be experienced in achieving the reward of money, like seeing money come in as a result of your hard work. And obviously it's a great tool to have in order to, delve into the things that you wish to do that will bring you that fulfillment. But at the end of the day, like, this is why it's important to do these things. That's why it's important to, work out and eat healthier and find a career that you can work at and develop, like emotional outlets, like creative outlets and instruments, and just explore your capabilities. Because like, I've been on the other side as well. Like, I've been on the side of the fence where, like, I know that a lot of people are there where, you think it's easier just kind of being complacent. I know a lot of people who just work 25-hour weeks or less, just enough to pay their bills, and they sit at home and they play video games, or they smoke weed, or they just exist, they just get by. And what they do is that they have so much time on their hands that they completely procrastinate in everything else. And I've been there. Like, I used to just work a pretty casual job where I could stay up till midnight just playing video games and wake up and not eat healthy and not have any responsibilities. And I can tell you right now that that is such a more difficult way to live than to be working as an overproductive person. I mean, where I used to sit around and waste a whole day doing absolutely nothing, now, I'm up at 4:45 in the morning, and I'm taking my dog for a walk and exercising and going to work and doing my meals and, going to the gym, seeing people. Like, I'm constantly busy, and it's at the point where even if I sit down for half an hour, I feel stress because I feel like I should be doing something, because I feel like I'm wasting my time and I'm not, squeezing the juice out of every second of my life and making the most of it. But even though it's a difficult route and way to exist, it's so much more fulfilling, and the energy that you get from it just makes you so much healthier. It's like a good example is, if you go to the gym lots, you're going to feel sore, and you're going to feel more sore than you would if you just never went to the gym. But the strength that you hold and the energy that you have and the capability that you possess is so much more worthwhile than not having it at all. So I don't know, that's just a quick one I wanted to say. It's just that, sorry, the leaf just started moving on its own. But yeah, like, fulfillment comes from the development and the growth. It doesn't come from the materialistic things. Like, if you start achieving things, you need to keep achieving, and you need to develop these routines to continue doing this. So if there's one thing I could say, just that thing that you're waiting for, if you're not doing much with your life, that thing that you're just waiting to happen, or that person or that event to come into your life, it's not going to happen. That event and that person in your life is you. You need to put the effort in, and you need to start just going for it. Just start implementing these small steps and just build them and build them and build them, so that your days just, or your life more or less, is just a collage of days where you just consistently work on yourself and achieve these goals that you're after, and just be successful. It's good. It's fun. It's it brings a lot of joy and happiness. I know I keep using those words, but I don't think there are better words than just fulfillment and success and joy and happiness, because it's the best feeling. It's the greatest. So anyway, that's just a quick one. I wanted to upload because it was on my mind. And I don't know. I hope you're all doing well. I'll talk to you all soon. Peace.